Okay, we're recording, so let's get stuck into it. Well, hi everyone, and thanks for joining us on our Sunday night powwow, the call that we adore the most when we get to all speak and share and talk of our weeks. And yeah, what an exciting week it has been with regards to prep and conversations and understanding lots that is going on and being in action, and so much fulfillment in being in action as opposed to the dissatisfaction when you're not and all you're thinking about is I wish I was in action. Doesn't it just feel so much nicer when you just are and spend like that an hour a day if that's what you've got that day? Oh, just feels so good. So, huge love as always from Steve and I for you guys when you're in action. And on Saturday morning, we had another, what we're calling the Say Party. And one fortnight we're getting together, and then the next fortnight it's online. And so we had the get together one this weekend, and it was brilliant. We had everyone writing posts for blitzing for November. And for any of you guys that weren't on or watching the recording and you also weren't on the Say party, we were just going over, and obviously in the UK that was 10 p.m. Friday night. What we were really just going over was our power posts that we've put up on social media talking about November's a big deal. November's a big deal for getting into the Christmas season and not losing sight of our wellness and really stepping into 2019 already 2 months at the forefront of wellness. And so over here in Australia and New Zealand, we've got some incredible promotions happening at the moment. And for the month of November, there is a pretty big deal going on. Not deal as in like money off in particular, but like it's a big deal of what you can achieve through a promotion that's happening here in November. So that ripple affected and became, a big thought process for me. And I really started to think about, well, what can we do for that to know that everybody can make it and get the rewards of this promotion that's happening in ANZ. And at the same time, it also really dawned on us that November is a huge intentional month where people can really make those shifts and step into 2019 totally transformed, instead of the usual turning up to 2019 on the back foot, still not achieving the goals that they'd set for themselves in regards to their health, still not any further forward in their financial wellness. In fact, usually a lot further back, because people just rack up the credit cards, and I've definitely had my own experience of that too. And it's just, January can be a very stressful time, and as we're shifting into a brand new year, why not literally flip that situation and let's step into January totally and utterly in love with the changes that we've just made in November and December. Step into January refreshed, 2 months ahead of plan, at least to every other year before that, with the health goals already smashing them, and maybe even have covered Christmas. Really think about, if someone was to make $450 or if someone was to make £200 before Christmas, what impact is that going to be on their family for Christmas? And that's just them helping two people. So really, for November, it's going to be a very, very intentional month. It's going to be a lot of consistency from everybody who really wants to go all in. And yes, for the Kiwis and the Aussies, there is going to be a promotion that you can win a phenomenal experience with Jim and Kathy Coover and Eric Worre, and free accommodation for 3 nights in a 5-star hotel, the Ridges. Yes, that is up for grabs. However, regardless of if you're in ANZ, you will have a brand new team of people stepping into 2019, ISA lifers, people getting results that they've never had before. So Tom, Sophie, and anyone watching this recording who's in the UK, harness this. take it on just as much for yourselves and move forwards with us, as we really, really are taking huge intentional action in November. And so, you know, check out any of the posts that any of us have put on our pages. We've not all just done the same templated scripted text with the same photo, because we really, I just so deeply feel, and I know this was reciprocated by everybody, was that when we share ourselves authentically, like we spoke about on the call last week, and like Tom, you demonstrated and shared so powerfully, when we really show up in our network and our community and on our social platforms, just as us, written by us, photos by us and of us, well, our network is going to see that in a whole new way than just seeing this amazing, what's it called, Pinterest-worthy picture and script. And I'm already seeing so much more being generated so much quicker. I'm getting really, really, really excited by the response that's already happening, even just within the team, when I've reached out to really brand new people and said, this is my vision for moving into 2019. Do you want to jump on board? You know, who do you know that I could help? And people that haven't even wanted to share Isagenix before have gone, that's a bloody great idea. I know people that would want to do that. And I'm like, hello, there's going to be heaps of consultants to pop now. So, you know, really by us harnessing and sharing this in what our way, in the way that we verbalize it and our personal visions as we step into 2019 for ourselves, and we share that authentically, that is going to be what has people want to join you. So, yeah, I wanted to just start off by, and Nikki's going to cover everything that's going on in November for ANZ. I've looked and there isn't any promotions happening that I can see for the UK, but you know, screw it. We've made up our own, right? We've made up our own. I know Tom's goals and I know Sophie's goals within November, and they're pretty freaking epic, and we're making them happen. But for the rest of you guys, this coming week, and this isn't going to interrupt what Nikki's getting into, this is literally just talking about this week. This week, we've got the seasonal catalogue being released on Thursday. On the 1st of November, we've got the seasonal catalogue. Now, that catalogue is going to be landing in every single person's auto-ship box, every single person's order. So, yes, these are seasonal release products, and when they're sold out, they're sold out. I mean, however, Hokey Pokey, as huge as it was to sell and was New Zealand's largest financial day in all history, it still took about a week before it sold out. So with this seasonal catalogue that's coming out, you know, it doesn't have to be the get in there now, it's going to sell out in 2 hours, like your network or your team or your cleansers may have just heard from you previously. You can take a very different approach. And again, you can just take whatever approach feels good to you to share. But you can just start to share the seasonal catalogue with your current cleansers or your current new customers, and just let them know that if their auto ship's coming up in the next week, or if they are just loving the products, really ensure that you tell them about all these seasonal products that are going to be available from Thursday. And so if their auto ship is in the next week or so, you know, maybe they want to just do the place order where they can put what was in their auto ship into the place order and add in some of those seasonals, and then obviously just extend the auto ship by 30 days. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand that? Or did anyone want me to run over? I'm more than happy to run over how that looks. No, all happy with that? Cool. So if someone jumps on and just places an order for more than 100 BV, keeps them active for that next entire month, you just push the auto ship out a month. And that means they can buy what they want for the next month and the seasonal products, whereas they can't add them to their auto ship. So yeah, that's what you can be focusing on with your cleansers, your current people. And then anyone that you enroll throughout November, of course, they can still add these seasonal products to the basket of that initial order, because that's an initial order. It's not an auto ship. It is the first ever order. So really, you know, in the forefront of your mind is when people are going to be starting and joining you for your blitz in November, what of the seasonal products may they love to add in? Or what would you love to gift someone? You might be in a position where you go, oh, you know what, I'd really love to add the seasonal oil, the essential oil to your basket, and I'm going to pop it in that order, and that's going to be my gift to you, and I'll sort you for the funds. It might be, no pressure, doesn't have to be that, but it's just an idea. It might also be that you personally want to jump on Thursday and you want to grab a few of these things as gifts to your new cleansers, or just as something to gift out over the festive season, whatever you choose. I'm literally just throwing ideas out there. No pressure about, having to buy anything. It all depends on where you're at, but really ensure that all your customers know about the seasonal products that are coming out from Thursday. And don't even have to know them off the top of your head. Just say there are 4 beautiful seasonal products coming out. I'm so excited about them. I can't wait to get my hands on them. Just jump on your IsaLife app or jump on your members site on Thursday after 10 o'clock and check them out. And let me know if you're going to get any. Just make sure that it's coming up in conversation and at the forefront of your mind throughout November when you're placing orders for people, that you can grab them. Cool. So I just wanted to remind you guys that comes out this week. And now, because half of the week's October and half of the week's November, and your Blitz week, really like that big hook week of when we want to help people get started, isn't this week, it's the following. So it's Monday the 5th. This week in particular, what goal do you want to set yourself? If you've got cleansers jumping in and buying their seasonal products on Thursday, do you maybe have a goal of hitting the 5-cycle bonus this week? Is that a goal for you? Is that a goal that's achievable for you? I'm pretty certain that for a lot of people on this call, it is very, very possibly a great goal to have this week. What is your intention behind that? So jump on your back office view team and have a look at your numbers. Have a look at your reports of how many points am I expected to have come out in order to ship this week? Am I a paid as consultant so that I can get paid the 5-cycle bonus? And then how much BV do I need on my legs? And then how much seasonal product am I going to get sold? So really have a think about, is the 5-cycle bonus something that I'm really ready to run for this week? Because I really, really think it is. And that 250 bonus, heck, what a great start to your month of blitzing, where you're going to see your cycles dramatically being picked up for the whole month anyway, just from the level of action. It's just a few little things there. I don't want you guys to get lost in thinking too much about it. But even if you just had it on Post-it note, or you had it on a screensaver on your phone, so you knew what was coming up throughout the week, so it's just constantly there, you're speaking it into being, they would be my top recommendations for the week this week. Our personal, Steve and I, our personal October incentive goes all the way till midnight Wednesday night, so you can still get your October. You can still get your UIA ticket for free if you've had 3 enrollments, 30-day packs and above, and you've helped create a consultant. So if you're still gunning it down, keep going. You get those tickets for UIA, and we've got so many of you guys coming along. It's pumping, so good. So that goes till Wednesday. So yeah, some exciting things happening throughout the month, and I'm so pleased that we get to have this call now, and that it's not already the 1st of November, and that doesn't come till Thursday. So we've got time to get our heads around it. November is a massive month. Isagenix are really, really laying so much opportunity out for all of us. So this month, Steve and I aren't putting on a promotion for November because there is so much happening in Isagenix. We're going to bring back our personal incentives in December, but the beautiful Nikki is going to take us through these real key promotions happening. And Tom, bear with us, mate. It is for Australia, New Zealand. But like I said, we've got our thing going on. We're crushing it. So Nikki, over to you, babe. Tell us what's happening this month so we can spend the rest of the call literally mapping out our success for this month.
Thanks, Koza. Hi everyone. So if you weren't on the call, Adam obviously touched on Monday night, and then Corin's touched on it again, like everything that's going on in November, because there's so much. I actually had to watch it back myself because my head was just like, oh my God, overload of everything happening. So yeah, strap yourselves in and hope you've got a pen ready and we can really nut down everything that's happening because it's a lot. So like Corin said, seasonal catalogue, that's really exciting. I'm always excited about. I was just went nuts over Hokey Pokey because that's just, I love that. So there's so much in here. So shake flavors, mocha and salted caramel. So that's pretty cool. And like Corin said, I'm gonna be getting some of that for Christmas for my dad, because obviously they won't get it over in the UK. So he's a coffee fiend, so that'll be really good. And I know loads of people here love salted caramel, so that should be really cool. The bar, Leland's really excited about the bar, vanilla, almond, and cranberry isoline bar, which sounds pretty festive to me. So I'm quite excited about that. Really good combination. So I think that'll be a real winner. A new oil called Soothe. I don't know any more than that, other than that it's a new oil and it's called Soothe. So that's pretty cool. And I'm sure we'll get more info as we get into it. A mixed box. I'm really excited about this one. A mixed box of Isodelights, including choc mint. Again, like perfect leading into the festive season, and that's another one I'll be getting because I just love my Isodelights. I'm just, yeah, that's going to be very cool. So that's kind of all I had about the seasonal catalogue. So if there's anything I've missed, I'm sure Corin or whoever, if I've missed something about the seasonal catalogue, just yell out. But yeah, starting the 1st of November, and it's on till everything's sold, basically till it's gone. So that's really cool to have all that yumminess coming up. And then enrollment incentives. So Corin just touched on this a little bit, and yeah, Adam talked about it on Monday night, but yeah, I'm really excited for this. So for the month of November, enrolling 10 people, it's a pretty exciting incentive. So I know quite a few of us were at Celebration, I was going to say this year in March, and obviously next year is February. So I know a lot of us are going to be heading to heading to that here in Brisbane. So yeah, enroll 10 people in the month of November. On an order of, I think it's 186 BV or more in New Zealand and 195 in Australia. You can win a cocktail reception with Eric Worre at Celebration. And if you don't know who Eric Worre is, I think we all do. But I know Kim, who's just jumped on, Kim's first team call tonight. So hey, Kimmy. Eric Worre, I will, if you haven't listened to anything or read anything that he's done yet, I can fill you in about that later. But that would just be epic. Imagine being at a cocktail reception with Eric Worre. I would just lose my mind. I'd be like girl crush in the corner, like awkward. So yeah, and then on top of that, 12 people, if you enroll 12 people in November, again 186 BV or more in New Zealand or 195 BV or more in Australia, you also get free accommodation, as Corin said, at the Ridges for Celebration. So right there, no taxiing in and out or traveling in and out to get to the venue in Brisbane. You're right there, beautiful hotel, just really adding that extra icing on the cake for what's already an amazing experience. So Ridges is one of my favorites in New Zealand, so I know that it's a really great hotel, and that would just add to your experience so much more. And qualifying with a heap of us all together, that would just be very cool. So yeah, so the last thing, so I'm definitely going to be gunning that one down anyway. So I think, 12 people in November is so achievable. If we're working for this next week to just be connecting with people and seeing what people are looking for, how can we help them, whether it's, something they're looking for, whether it's extra money for Christmas, anything like that, whatever their pain point is, how can we help people? And then obviously in turn, that's going to set us up really well going into November. So the Welcome Back campaign is another one that Adam touched on the call Monday night. So I've got some of the details here. I think there'll be more info to come in the next few days, but yeah, and Corin can let me know if I get any of this incorrect. So free membership, 10% off their first order, and a coupon for their second order, which is obviously their auto ship. And this is I believe for people who are coming back who have gone inactive. So yeah, there'll be more clarification, I'm sure, will come out in the next sort of week about that. But that's another really good thing, because if anyone's like me, I've definitely got people there who just order things now and again, or or haven't ordered, or don't have their auto ship anymore. So yeah, that'll be really cool to nail down the details of that and be able to go out to anyone that applies to that I've enrolled since January, the start of this year, and just say, hey, we've got this on, just wondering if it's of interest. Would love to help you with anything. Is there anything that you need help with at the moment? So yeah, I think that's everything I needed to touch on. But yeah,
one little thing I'd love to add into that, Nikki, and then I'll let you keep going with regards to the Welcome Home campaign, is that everything Nikki said is spot on. The other additional part is that they get their very initial business center back. So they're coming back into the tree in their original position. They're not starting again at the bottom of the tree. So really what the hook for them is going to be is it's going to take you being responsible before you talk to them to know everything that you need to share. E.g., I will be logging into my back office. I'll be going on to view placement tree. I'll be finding their name in the tree. And then from the tree, I'm going to have a look and see when it says members of how many. Has everybody done that before? Or should I screen share and show you what I mean? Because the hook is going to be that if you show them how many people have joined Isagenix since they originally did, and they want to get a bit of extra money for Christmas, and they see that there's possibly 10 people that have enrolled since then, and you have explained to them that all those 10 people order that BV comes back to them, that's going to be massive. That's going to be huge. You say, look, we can get you re-entered, free membership for the year, 10% off your first order, a voucher for your auto ship, and you get your original place. So there's already 10 other people beneath you. If you do this after November, you've got to start 10, probably 15, 20 people deep. Do you want to make money off of what all those people are ordering? Do you want to make the points off of everything they're ordering or not? And let them really take that in. That is the absolute power of our compensation plan. So, so powerful. All right, bear with me a second. I'm just going to pull up screen share and show you what I mean, and everyone on this recording, in case you're on the recording and you're going, hey, I really want to. Okay, so you come down to the placement tree and let me search, let's search Sophie. So you search for your person. It finds them in the tree. There she is. There's Sophie. So you found Sophie in the tree. We know she's in the left-hand team. And so let's say Sophie was inactive and she was here in New Zealand, and I was reaching out and getting in contact with her, and hey Soph, hope you're still well. Hey, I really wanted to reach out and share something huge with you. Are you free for a conversation? It's about Isagenix. I'd really love to share about a promotion that's happening that I think could really, really help you. We get on the phone or we have a conversation. I'll be like, Soph, look, we've got a promotion on that's called Welcome Home, and Isagenix are offering you free membership if you come back and get restarted with us. You're going to get 10% off your first order, your first wholesale order. So if you get a pack, 10% off, you can save up to almost $200, I think, on the ultimate one. It was something like $140, something like that, right? But you've got 10% off your first pack. Phenomenal. You also get discount off your next order after that. you're on your auto ship, you got a discount. But the thing that is most exciting, other than the fact that you can, you know, choose to get restarted again, is that you get to come back to your original membership. And now the reason that that's so exciting is since you started, 86 other people have joined the team since then. 86 people have joined the business since you did. And if you chose to make the most of this offer in November, you get to store all the points of every single product that those 86 people order. How amazing is that? You get all the points of everything that those 86 people order. Now, would it be a benefit to you if I showed you how we could have those points paid back to you as cash? Because there are a lot of people there ordering product. Is that something that could help you on the lead up to Christmas, having a bit of secondary income? I think the answer is going to be, yeah, show me. Especially if you know they've loved the products before, especially if you know that somebody is maybe struggling to stay with Isagenix for cost and they haven't been able to share before. Yeah, so you're going to search their name, look this up, just see how many members are in the downline, and then when you talk to them on the phone, let that really be the hook, especially if you know that they're going to be, especially if you know that they're going to be really looking for some support around Christmas time. Yeah, so hopefully just that little extra explanation helped. Back to you, Nikki. Sorry, I just wanted to jump in and share that little bit.
No, that's awesome, because I really wasn't sure. I know that they'd said give that person their place back in the tree, but I hadn't really let my mind go into what that meant. That's pretty huge. I know I'd be really excited if I got a phone call saying, oh, this is happening that you didn't even know about, and if you place an order and you save money on that, this is what is possible right before Christmas. I would just lose my shit. So I don't think I had anything else to cover off other than just that I'm super excited about November and there's so much going on, and we should just be getting into it like hardcore for the next week and getting set up for the month, because there's so much up for grabs on top of everything else. So that's me.
Thank you so much, Nikki. That was so beautifully explained. So beautifully explained. So hopefully everyone is really just jump back in and watch this recording again, or just skip through it to the bits that you need to know. And for Sophie and Chris, Sophie and Tom, I always call you Chris, I'm sorry. That's Sophie's fiance, not her brother. For you guys, I really want you to get absorbed in this momentum. I want you to really, really use the momentum of the team and the chat and all the enrollments that are going to be flooding through the Nourish page. Think of your prospects that are sitting in Nourish the Best You. What are they going to be thinking about all these people getting started? They're going to really see that there's so many people around them. That's why I'm like, when we're blitzing in Australia, New Zealand, we're going to be blitzing in the UK as well. And for any UK peeps on the call watching, honestly, get involved, because your people that you're flooding into Nourish the Best You are going to see all these enrollments coming through, and there's going to be a lift and a momentum for November. So that's why, we're racing you guys to your goals as well, whilst the rest of us are going to smash out those 12 enrollments. 12 enrollments of 186 BV. I'm not talking 12 ultimate packs here. I'm talking about 12 enrollments of 186 BV. Who seriously, how achievable is that? How it's so achievable. I know that we can all do it. I do not want to be standing there telling Jim Coover that I was the only one able to show up. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm instead going to stand there. I'm going to say to Jim, look at all these legends that committed on the 28th of October 2018 to be here in February 2019 at their biggest event ever, with more team there than they've ever had before, who worked their asses off in November on the lead up to Christmas to bring less stress around money in their lives and to have less stress around financially paying for accommodation in Brisbane, and now they're being rewarded with the most. 5-star luxury hotel for 3 nights, and the experience with Jim, Kathy, and Eric Worre. Probably Eric Hoover as well, to be fair, and Peter. I'm freaking on fire. I'm just going to jump on Thursday. I feel like enrolling all 12 all at once, to be honest, and just get it done with straight away. But I'm so pleased we've got the whole month to get it done. But that very, very first full week of November is when we're going to be dropping the most enrollments, because that's when we're launching our campaign. That's when we're launching our festive season, wellness. I want you guys vision casting for people this week. I really want you to really honor yourselves and what you do know. You know enough to know that you're going into this season empowered, way ahead of the game in your wellness, physically and financially, because what you're going to achieve in November is going to bring you an abundance of finance for Christmas. Have you ever had that going into Christmas before, that there's going to be more money in your hands than your salary? Never. And how many other people want that? I've spoken to too many people who have told me they've picked up extra jobs because it's coming up to Christmas. Breaks my heart that we're over and over and over again just trading more time for that money. And it's time we all cast that vision where people get to wake up and get that money working for them. I'm proudly talking about the fact that I'm studying how to make money work for me. I'm proudly talking about that I've chosen network marketing to do that there's been a shift. So really trust yourself. When I say vision cast, I mean just speak your truth. Speak what you've learned and what you've got for yourself going into the new year. And you're the type of person that doesn't want to do it alone. You could, but that's just not in your heart. It's not in your nature. It's not in your soul. You want to be taking other people on that journey, and you're not committed to stepping into 2019 feeling anything less than amazing. It's the first day of the entire year. Who wants to wake up on that day feeling like shit? No one. No one. If they've gotten through Christmas without having to smash the credit cards, or they've gotten through Christmas and they're not 10 kgs heavier and exhausted and feeling really shit about themselves, and then still never committing to their goals. You hear people over and over and over and over and over again getting 6 months through the year and still not started. And this is what I mean about vision casting. Just speak your truth and your passion for sharing this with other people and why. And this is just going to see your campaigns for November just soar, especially in that first week. Let's get at least half of our 12 people sorted in that first week. So achievable. And then spend the next 3 weeks after that helping 2 people a week from there. So awesome. And love that, Shari. Thanks for jumping on. Speak your truth. So want to be authentic. That is the only way to build this business, is pure authenticity. And that's why I was so firmly not writing any templates or scripts for Facebook or Instagram and everyone making their own flyer. It's just beautiful. And pull inspiration from other people's, yes, but don't swamp yourself in reading hundreds, because then you lose sight of your true authenticity. Have an e-shot and let those adaptogens flow through you and write your post. I love it. Those adaptogens are amazing. So what I want you guys to do right now is just grab a pen and paper or use the notes section on your phone. I want you to know your numbers. And I'm going to read it out to you, but it's just going to be so powerful to have it written down. I want you to know your numbers. What does it look like? It's clarity. Nothing happens without the clarity, right? So write down 186 BV for New Zealand. This is just for the ANZ team, and Sophie and Tom. The BV bit, just disregard that. And 195 BV Australian. So you write those 2 down. So this is for everybody to write down all around the world, wherever you are. You're going for your 12 enrollments for November. 12 enrollments is the goal. Or it's the must. In fact, it's not even a goal. It's like imperative. It's life or death. 12 enrollments, the average of 1 in 10 people enrolling with you. Approximately 1 in 10 is the average. Your numbers might look a little bit different depending on where you're at in your journey. You might be 1 in 5, it might be 1 in 4, depends, if you've, done a lot of work in network marketing and read the books and listened to the podcast, it might be a bit lower than that. But let's just take that 1 in 10 as an average. 1 in 10 people enroll. So for us to get 12 enrollments, we need to have 120 Isagenix conversations, new Isagenix conversations. 120 conversations about Isagenix with brand new people, not just your follow-ups from people you've already been speaking to. Cool. So 120 new Isagenix conversations, which on average, if you divide that by the month, 30 days, that is 4 new conversations a day. Whew, much easier to digest than 120. 4 new conversations a day about Isagenix. Start filling people's inboxes with hellos. Start filling people's inboxes with, I was thinking of you, how have you been? Do your connecting now. Nikki said it so perfectly. Do your connecting now if you haven't already started. I sent out 15 new messages today just saying hello to people, just to get conversation flowing. It might be a voice note. Whatever it is, start saying a lot of hellos right now. Start re-adding people, going to networking events, meeting people. Do all you can. Fill your funnel list. Because 4 new conversations every single day about Isagenix is going to see you have a total of 120 new Isagenix conversations in the month. And if 1 in 10 of those enroll, you'll have your 12 enrollments. Now, I personally don't like leaving it that tight. That stresses me out, just making it to 12. So 4 new conversations a day has to be your minimum. That has to be the minimum work that you do. I don't want you guys busting out here sending 40 messages and then the next 3 days sending none, right? Every single day needs to be 4 brand new conversations. And if one day you've got a bit more time or you're feeling extra fired up after your e-shot and you want to send another 10 or 20 messages, freaking go for it. But every single day after that, you need to stay consistent with those 4 new conversations a day. You might want to commit to 5. It's up to you, but minimum is 4, all right, for you to be there. So yeah, you get to choose your accelerated blitzing time, but because this is a whole month, yes, we're focusing on that week next, not this coming week, but the following of all this, lots of people jumping on board for the lead up to Christmas. But remember that this promotion is for the whole month. So, you're going to do a bit more extra work this week for your campaign launch, the following. But then just remember after the campaign week, not to just be like, oh, I'm going to stop now. It's like, no, we need to keep going all the way. So accelerated, but also maintainable. So that's knowing your numbers, okay? Next is know your crew. Who in your team are you working with? And so you guys always that are showing up on the calls, you're the leaders of your business. Yes, you've got a fantastic supportive upline. There's Laura, there's Nadia, there's myself, and there's Steve, and there's Sophie. There's so many people whose people's people are jumping on the calls and watching the recordings, and it is so beautiful, so beautiful. But you are in leadership now. Might be brand new, and that's fine. That is beautiful. And this is just one of those moments where you really just get to, take yourself on and just step into your leadership role right where you're at. Don't compare your leadership to anyone else's or where they're at in their journey. But who have you got in your team that you're going to partner up with? People who maybe have never, ever done it before. See, I'll give you an example. I've got 3 brand new cleansers who are in their 2nd month. They're open to sharing Isagenix, but haven't actively gone out there and sent many messages. So I've talked to them and I've told them about what Steve and I are doing for November, what our vision is, you know, who do they know? Do they know anyone? And their responses have been, what a bloody great idea. We always struggle with this in January. I know so many people. And instead of like them being like, nah, I'm okay, I don't really want to share, or, you know, I might share at some point, it was, oh my God, I know people. And they've started thinking of people. It all comes down to how you share this with people in your team, how you share this with your current cleansers as to who you're going to be helping on board. Not someone that has to blitz and send out 4 new messages a day, but who in your crew maybe has 1 or 2 people that they may be able to bring on board. Is that landing for you guys? Is that just triggering a little bit more? Yeah, love it. That's really cool. You know, like I was saying, like, just be inclusive of those people. If every cleanser brought on 1 person, heck, you could see 5 or 6 brand new people join your business, join your team in that time. You're just going to start to see these consultants coming through a whole lot easier when people are really engaged in the vision of what we're stepping into 2019 feeling like. Yeah, we're just going straight into it, living big for 2019 and starting that now. That starts now. I've heard so many like coaches, you know, like life coaches and lifestyle coaches talking about right now is the time when people start to take massive action. And it's actually during their Christmas break that people who are committed to living a bigger life, like you guys wouldn't be on this call or watching the recording if you weren't committed to living a bigger life. You're already doing extracurricular work for a vision of your future, right? You're committed to a bigger life in 2019. Now, people that are committed to a bigger life, they get to work in November and December, and it starts paying off immediately in the new year. So just, if you need to have that as a screensaver on your phone and remember that every day when you're by yourself, you are committed to living big for 2019, but the action starts here right now. So you share that with whoever needs to hear that. So know your list. That's the next thing to know. Know your list. Have clarity around your list. And Nads, I'm going to spring this upon you. No notice here. But I know you recently found another way of writing your list. And I absolutely adore it, and I've started using it as well. I still have a habit of whenever I'm doing a campaign, I love to write down people's names in my book. I just love getting the ink on with all these brand new names. However, I'm committed to making sure that this is all put into my master list. So can you just share with the girls what you found? Because they may have missed it, girls and guys, your new way of making and updating your list, because it's freaking epic and it might be of service to the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just open it so I can just talk to it quickly. So I've always liked to write things down and have pen on paper and write lists, but I've just struggled to be able to keep up with my follow-up, and you know, I just don't find it very efficient having to scroll back through all the pages and write a date exactly when I need to follow them up next. So I found this app called Asana. So it's like a project management CRM. So basically you can create a project, and I call it, for example, my first one was called, what was it I was doing? It was inviting to the best you experience that Corin was doing on the road. So you have a project, and then you've got a board. And on the first board, I would write invite. So I'd list all the people I want to invite. And then you have the second board beside it, which was called invited. And so then anyone I had invited, I shifted them over to that second board. And then the third board was called yes. And the second board, the fourth one was called no. And then the next one, I think it was called like follow up. So you just shift these people across accordingly, you know, where they're at. So you open up your board, and you can be like, oh yeah, that's right, I've invited Tom and he said no and he said yes, and you can easily see where your list is at. But there's one cooler thing where you can actually set a reminder to follow them up. So say you've invited 10 people, you can actually go into each of those people and be like, reminder to follow up in 2 days, and it pops up on your phone. So you know you get reminded when to follow up with people. It was just incredible, and it's really easy to navigate. And actually yesterday I jumped on YouTube just to make sure I have explored all areas of the app, and you just type in Asana how to use, and it comes up with short video clips on how to use it, and other network marketing companies have used it too. So I've got one for a master list, one for inviting to events, and I'm going to have one for this campaign that we're doing, and it's just so good. So yeah, it is a transition because I like writing things down, but I just feel more confident with following people up, and you don't miss people. So if you're out and about and you're in a supermarket and you bump into you talk as a checkout lady, just chuck her name in your master list, and then you know if they're still sitting in your master list, you haven't touched them, and you just shift them across. So yeah, there is another one out there called Trello, but I looked at that as well, but apparently Asana was the one to go to. Then everyone moved to Trello, but Asana took everything off Trello. So if you see both of them out there, Asana is the one to go with because they look very similar. So yeah.
Thanks, Nads. So good. And when I had a look through Nadia's app, she opened it up and I had a look through, I was like, holy moly, like this is really easy. Really, really easy. And I've also added a section in there about the current team. And so then I've gone, current team is the title. And then within it, I've got Dunedin, Auckland, Christchurch, England. So I know which of the team and where they're at as well. Because if I go, oh my gosh, there's an event in Manchester, I just go into my app, Manchester, who do I need to get in touch with? Who's there? Who do I need? Yeah. Or if they're not there, if wherever they are in England, they're going to drive however fast, Tom all over. Yeah. So that's, yeah.
So there's one other thing as well. There's a task list. So for us, the important tasks are, say, 4 by 4 by 4, 4 new connections, 4 follow-ups, 4 pouring love. And you can set daily tasks and them to repeat. So every single day it'll pop up and you have to actually check it off. So I don't have a laptop at the moment, but apparently it's good on your laptop to set it up. And then you can just use it on your phone as well. So yeah, that's another one that I'm keen to have just
so good
in your face. Yeah.
So good. It's really cool that with each person's name you put on your master list when you've just met them, is that you can just, there is a little description section as well in their name, so you can actually write countdown lady, countdown checkout lady, or whatever, gymnast, met at blah 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 blah, whatever. That sounds really random, but I literally just met a gymnast at an event. Sorry, that's why I shared it. Yeah, so thanks for sharing that, Nadia, because again, we're going to step into this campaign with clarity. I would love you guys to just grab all the lists that you've ever made. And if you download Asana, it's totally free, and you have a little look. And if you've got a list and it works for you, do it. Stay with what you're doing. But if you are just overwhelmed and swamped by lists, then check it out. It might be for you. Thanks for sharing though. And then lastly is know your events. Know your events for November. And I don't mean all the Isagenix events, blah, 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 all that going on. I mean, know your events that you're committed to hosting for your campaign. How often are you going to host them? For this month of November, what are you willing to do for this month for those enrollments, for those 12? What's that going to look like? Is that going to be 11 a.m. coffee dates every single week with a group of women, and they're just going to grow and grow and grow? Is it going to be that you're going to have a walk in the park with your lads every evening after work, and that's going to grow and grow and grow, and you're just going to be talking and talking and vision casting and vision casting? Now, what's it going to look? Is it going to be a Sunday morning walk with a group of people and you're going to be talking about your campaign? Is it going to be a taster party every one particular night of the week for every week for November? Just know your events, because that's what you're going to be inviting your people to, and lock it in, get it straight in your diary. You've got beautiful amount of time to just have this ready to go, and just keep in action each day, just sharing you all the details and going over things again, because November's such a big month. I mean, imagine being in corporate, Isagenix corporate, trying to organize this whole thing and keep an eye on it all. Whew, just glad we're in the field. Just having to talk to people about our food and feeling good for January. Yeah, much rather that position. For all you legends that are on the call, you've obviously got the opportunity, being on here live, to ask any questions, or to share anything that you might want me to go into in any further depth. Anything coming up for anyone? Yeah, Nikki.
I'm not sure if we're able to answer this, Corin, but with the Welcome Back campaign and we're seeing inactive people, is it that people have cancelled their auto ship and they haven't ordered? Is that what we class as, or if they've been pushing their auto ship out but definitely haven't ordered, for months or whatever?
Yeah,
but they've still got a date sitting there as an auto ship date for the future. That class is inactive?
Yeah, really good questions. They are inactive, but I don't know what's going to be included in the Welcome Home campaign itself. So both those scenarios are inactive people. The thing that if they haven't renewed their membership in the year, that's when their account can be terminated. But if they are, that's why I'm going to message Steve Foxwell tomorrow and just ask for the flyer for it, because it must be done, because it's being released on Thursday, and I'll pop it in our group chat as soon as I've got the exact clarity on that particular Welcome Home campaign.
Amazing, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll also ask if they are included in your 12 enrollments for the month. I'll check, because if they're not, then personally I'm not going to go too hard in pushing it. I'm going to focus on the brand new enrollments for the November incentive. Yeah. So like my biggest word of advice to everyone would just be prioritize like the most important bit that's going to see you achieve the biggest goal. And so if it's 12 we need to enroll 12 people to get the accommodation and to get the reception, then I'm going to focus on that before I'm going to focus on Welcome Home campaign and the seasonal catalogue, for example. Yeah, hope that helps. Anyone else got any questions about anything from the call, or does everyone feel that they know what to do straight off the back of this call? Just give yourself a really clear to-do list. There might not be anything to do. You might be totally ready to go and just connecting and talking with people and getting into action effective immediately. I know Tom and Sophie are just at the beginning of your days, so you've still got the whole of Sunday to be connecting and firing out your messages and creating your vision for the next couple of months. Yay. Cool. All right, well, I'm going to end the recording now.